This video might be just the mind-bending solution that you need right now. And it's not even a solution so much as it is a perspective and a way of looking at your life in a whole new light that actually benefits and serves you in the way you've been asking for. Yet, once you wrap your head around the subtle complexity of it, you'll actually realize how simple this is and how this has been an idea, a premise, a perspective that was there for you all along. So if you buy into the idea that the eternal moment, the now, is all there is, and in that eternal now, everything that we ever could believe did exist, does exist, or is going to exist, it's all now. It's all collapsed. It all falls together, in other words, into this moment, into presence. And in fact, from a quantum perspective, there is nothing else. There is no other time except what we create in our own head, what we construct in order to feel the illusion of separation, to separate events so that we can contemplate them, consider them, so that we can make movement in our life and feel the progress of a life. But all of these things are illusory. All of these things are mental constructs. So if everything is now, all potentials, even the one you're asking to experience, and you, as you reach for that new potential, may experience some sort of drawback, pushback, some part of you that hits up against the wall of lack, low self-worth, low self-esteem, a misunderstanding of your own capabilities, whatever that shadow or wound is. Every time you reach for something new, most of us hit it. We hit that wall. We hit that piece of lack, that obstacle. And so just as that shadow is there, and it exists, every part of us experiencing every single facet of life, including being entrenched in our own shadows, wounds, and pain, just as much as that exists and feels real for you, so does a version or aspect of you that is completely entrenched, enmeshed in abundance, prosperity, and whatever that looks like or feels like in your greatest imaginings. That is just as real as anything else, and it's all here, it's all now. But we go through a life of pulling the thread of the lack and watching that unspool into more of it. We identify with that lack, and we are what we identify with. So, what if you stopped identifying with the shadows? What if by your acknowledgement of, well, if I see my life through my wounding, through my pain, through my fear, anger, sadness, doesn't that mean I'm just pulling on the thread of that existence, unspooling more of it, revealing more of that type of energy? I could equally be investing my time, attention, and focus on pulling that thread of just that even glimmer of abundance I feel when I walk out and I feel the sun on my face. I look at the wind shaking leaves on a tree. When I look at a squirrel munching away on an acorn. When I see my kids. When I see my loved one. When I see my bank account flush. You have to understand nothing gives you those feelings. To feel the ultimate gift of life is to understand that nothing can give you anything. You give yourself the feeling of joy, of abundance, of freedom, of love, of completeness, of wholeness. You give yourself that. And just as much and as easy as it maybe has been up until now to give yourself a feeling of unease, a feeling of being bound, limited, it's just as easy for you to do the opposite. And it's because everything is now, and understanding that those shadows, they're always there. Those wounds, that pain, it's always there. If everything is present and everything is part of the now and nothing is excluded, then that version of you is always there, always viable, always available for you to tap into. But your choice could now be different. You could tap into, just as easily as you've tapped into the painful version of you, the abundant version of you, because that too is always there, always viable, always available once you choose, once you decide, this is me. I give myself the gift of feeling this, and you'll pull on that thread of that existence, and you'll see more of it. You will be of it because you've decided to merge with that level of consciousness, that availability. So in a sense, it doesn't mean that choosing that makes all the other opportunities disappear. They're all still there. All the pain, the woe, the lack, the disillusionment, that's all still there because everything is now. And that implies that everything is here, every potential, every outcome. But now you're no longer choosing to look at certain parts of the now. You decide to put your attention and focus on the parts of the now that serve you, the parts of the now that benefit you, expand you, allow you to grow, allow you to experience the best that life has to offer. And you choose it over and over again. You don't just choose it once and it sticks. You choose it every day. You choose it every moment. You choose it every second. You choose it in every situation and every circumstance, no matter what the fixed, limited matrix of the world is showing you. And you'll understand that these shadows are ways to provide nothing more than just the contrast of, if this can exist, so can the other thing, so can the opposite. And instead of living your whole life through the filter of this lens of the lack and the woe and the want, you decide to now see life through a different lens. This isn't spiritual bypassing. In fact, it's a form of spiritual maturity because you're realizing, I choose. I am the creator and the created. I am of everything. I will never not be of everything. And if I am everything, can I choose within that everything what experience I desire? Can't I live from that perspective and filter? The answer is yes. But will you?